How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Good Morning Let's Basketball. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Today, the Eastern Conference Finals and Western Conference Finals are completely underway, so we're going to get into some playoff talk, talking about both of the series, talking a little bit of our expectations and who we think is going to win. After that, we'll be getting into some off-season talk, some new trades and free agency signings that have been buzzing around on X and social media. And then we have a fun little interactive segment afterwards for you guys. Feel free to play along the way. As always, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify podcasts, be sure to give us a rating, as it does help us out a lot. So to kick off today's episode, like I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and talk about the conference finals that are underway. So first up, we got Mavs versus T-Wolves. Now, if you'd have told me that this was going to be the Western Conference Finals at the beginning of the year, I would have told you you're out of your dome piece. But this is what we got. Both these teams produced very well in the playoffs. The Mavericks are looking like a very solid and complete team, going out there playing a little bit of defense, which was one of their biggest concerns coming into the season. And the T-Wolves kind of just coming out of nowhere, having a mediocre year last year and then really pushing their success to the next level this year, surpassing the Denver Nuggets, not folding on the series after being up 2-0. They closed it out in Denver on Game 7 with the 20-point comeback in the third quarter. As far as predictions, what do you guys have? Who do you have in and how many games?
Before we get into predictions, I want to shout out Kevin, because I think before the season even started, I think you had a dark horse team to go into the pretty deep playoff run, and I think you had Mavericks.
That was
I know
me.
I had a
No, it wasn't. I'm capping.
hell no, I wasn't. Because he told me I was crazy for that. And I was like, oh no, man, it could be true. I also do want to add though, when not only did I predict the Pascal Siakam trade to the Indiana Pacers, and that's not what we're highlighting here, but when the trade did happen, I did say that the Pacers could be a very solid team and they could go on a run. And again, y'all thought it was crazy. But here they are in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to get into that series a little bit later. But Mavs Wolves, who you got? How many games?
Wolves and foe. You heard it here first.
Ridiculous. But next.
I got T-Wolves in 6.
I'm going to ride with Kevin on this one. I'm going to say it's going to be Mavs. If he switches up now, I'll be surprised because I'm pretty sure he's going Mavs too.
In what? How many games?
Yeah, so I like that mug, by the way. It's a cool mug. Wow, that's sick. Anyway, so I'm predicting that this is going to be another dogfight similar to Mavs versus Clippers. I think this is going to go a pretty good distance. I'm thinking around Game 6, but yeah, I'm going to go Mavs for this one.
All right, so I'm going to give my team how many games and then my reason why, because I feel like I have a pretty legitimate reason as to why, and I think I'm right. I'm going to go Mavs in 7. Reason being is Dallas has been playing a little bit of better defense this postseason, and I feel like in this series, Luka and Kyrie can really focus on scoring a lot more than they have in the past 2 series where they had to rely more on playmaking and defense. The defense assignments that they have, which will probably be Anthony Edwards possibly guarding one of them, but everybody else, that's what Anthony Edwards said, but I don't know like how true that's going to be with as far as like the actual game plans. Ant kind of just talks out of his ass at times. Anyways, as far as defensive assignments, I feel like they'll be able to relax a lot more on defense and focus on scoring because, the Timberwolves, they don't really have that many, I want to say, great scores out there other than Ant. They do have other great scores in Cat, but Kyrie and Luka aren't going to be responsible for guarding them. So I feel like that takes a lot of pressure off of them. Also, I feel like the biggest X factor in this series for the Timberwolves' success, and if the Mavericks win or lose, is going to be the success of Karl Anthony Towns. I feel like he was like a big part of last series. Whenever he played well and shot well, it seemed like the Timberwolves really succeeded and won games. And this series, I think he's going to be the difference maker for them, as that can be the person that can push them over the edge and give them a win. So we're going to see Kyrie in his final appearance with a different team. showcasing that he doesn't need LeBron James to make the finals. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think they will make it.
So I guess since I didn't like, I don't know if we're gonna go through now and kind of explain our reasoning for why our picks are our picks, but I'll go next. I'm kind of putting a lot of faith in Luka Magic happening. The biggest thing that I noticed in the Timberwolves versus Nuggets series, and kind of what me and Victor had discussed off camera, was that Nikola Jokic misses a lot of his first shots. And in general, the Nuggets are just really good at grabbing rebounds and kind of giving themselves second chance opportunities, third chance opportunities. And that's why we've seen them beat out so many other teams in the past. The Nuggets took that away, especially in game 7. I mean, credit to Rudy Gobert and that Wolves team. They were playing some intense defense that entire game, including Mike Conley. Shout out Mike Conley. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is kind of going to be, I said this last night when I was watching, or a few nights ago when I was watching the Nuggets game. This game is going to come down to just whoever can make their first chance shot. And it wasn't necessarily, leaning the Timberwolves way, but in this in this Mavericks series, I predict that Luka is really good about kind of creating that magic on the court and being able to knock down those 28, 27 footers. He's able to do floaters that should not go in on guys that are twice his size. So, yeah, I'm putting a lot of faith on Luka Magic in this series. I'm kind of putting all my chips on the fact that he'll take a little bit of the reins and take this team into hopefully the finals. But yeah, that's kind of just my reasoning. Not really much to it. I guess I'm putting a lot of faith in what's the word? Not luck, but just yeah, again, Luka Magic. But I think Kyrie will play a big part in this series as well, because as we saw, Luka isn't having the best consistency, I guess you could say, this playoffs. But yeah, they've got a lot of really good guys on that team that have come into their own and played really well. So yeah, that's my reasoning behind why the Mavericks will win in 6.
Look, bro, I hate Kyrie Irving, so I'll always root against him. But besides that, Luka, that whole last series, despite his stats, just looks so banged up against the Thunder, just always limping, always on the floor. I'm surprised he made it to the end without falling apart. That man has to grease the gears a little bit, but I'm gonna be honest, I think that Luka just won't last against this Timberwolves defense. Like they haven't faced a defense that is this lax. Like if he thought if Lou Dort was causing him that many problems, imagine how many problems Jaden McDaniels is going to cause him. And I'll always give Jaden McDaniels his flowers on this pod because I truly think he's the best wing defender in the NBA. But besides that, I really think that the Thunder beat themselves in those last couple games. They just failed to hit shots, and Shea couldn't quite carry them over the finish line. And I don't think that the Wolves are that type of team. The Wolves, if you can't make shots against the Wolves, they're gonna take you out. So I think that the Wolves also, people underrate how hot teams are in the playoffs. The playoffs, it really doesn't matter how great of a team you are, because if you're hot, you're gonna go far. And this Timberwolves team is hot at the exact time that they need to be. They just knocked off the defending champs, the Denver Nuggets. And the Denver Nuggets, in my opinion, I mean, I can't really say they're a much better team, but they are a better team than the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I really think I just think this is an easier matchup for the Minnesota Timberwolves than the Nuggets were. So we're gonna see, but yeah, man, I'm gonna go Wolves in 4. I don't think it's gonna be too tough for them.
A sweep. But
Well,
I mean,
just
you guys got to be kidding with the Mavericks, because do y'all not see what they did to the Nuggets? They shut them out like 3 times, and nobody's ever done that to the Nuggets since they've had this team. That defense is scary, and I've had to eat my words about the Timberwolves this season after believing that the Thunder were better, and they've proved me wrong. Yeah, just shout out to T-Wolves, man, because like Miles said, I think this is a easier matchup for with the Mavericks than the Nuggets. And Luka has tough defenders on him. This like for the first round and the second round, Miles said Jaden McDaniels being on him. I think that's probably going to be the toughest one out of the two he's faced already.
I don't
Well, I
know
hope you're hungry. I hope you're hungry because you're about to eat your words again, Vic.
if
Hey, you guys are underrating how hot the Wolves are, bro. Like this team just put
I'm
up
not. I'm
the
not.
greatest Game 7 comeback in NBA history.
so
77, 76, 77 years of NBA basketball. We've never seen some shit like that. And on the defending champs. And Jaden McDaniels threw himself a bounce lob at the end of the game on some bullshit. This team ain't losing a game, bro.
and didn't they broke the game 5 curse too, or was it different? Is the
Hey,
game
that
5
happened with the Pacers too. And it wasn't a curse. It was
okay?
just a statistic,
Right.
83%.
An average statistic, right? No, but I'm glad you brought up that hot thing because I do agree with you. I don't know if people underestimate it, but it is something that definitely goes under the radar, like you said, that people or that teams are just doing extremely well. They're hitting their shots. They're playing well on every inch of the floor, and it's just really hard to stop them when they're kind of in that flow state. But was it just me? This might just be me. I didn't think that Nuggets T-Wolves was a very interesting series. And I think we had kind of talked about that because it was 2-0 and like the first two games were basically blowouts. The second two games were basically blowouts. It didn't really start to get good until games. It didn't get good until game 7. The way that I saw that series, how it went was T-Wolves having just an absolute phenomenal performance on the same night that the Nuggets are just having their worst performance. And then it flip-flopped. And then the Nuggets looked like the defending champs and like they were going to basically run through everyone and finish out that series quick. And then, that got changed during game 6 when T-Wolves won. So it didn't really show me a lot. I understand what you mean by T-Wolves are hot, but I don't really it like them beating out the Nuggets wasn't really like, oh my God, like it wasn't a statement to me. It was just it wasn't. I mean, okay. Yeah, I
Didn't
guess I
they
should be
win by
careful.
40 points? Didn't they beat the defending champs by 40 points this series? That's
Game
not a
6. Yeah.
what is it? What is a statement to you?
I don't know. I guess okay, I guess
Winning a
you're right, but again,
championship.
no, but I see where you're coming from, but again, like a lot of those games were blowouts. Like both those teams had games where the opposite team was just doing horribly and they made a statement. I will say that the biggest thing takeaway from this series is that the T-Wolves beat the defending champs, right? In a game 7 series, they still took it home, and that's the biggest thing. But you know, we've seen hot teams go down before, and I think that this Mavericks series is going to be a little bit less obvious than people are thinking it is, because I'm assuming that just the betting lines and that the general consensus around NBA fans right now is that the T-Wolves are, like you said, hot, and that defensively Mavericks are not going to be able to keep up. But I just don't see it, panning out that way. I think that this will surprise us and that this will be a good series to watch.
I want to know, Kevin or Daniel, who is supposed to guard Anthony Edwards?
I mean,
Who's going to stop him?
well, in game
He shot
7,
he
go
shot
ahead.
6 for 24 last game. I think anyone can guard that.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing.
That's one game, though. Like,
Yeah,
realistically, like being
he,
realistic, who's going to stop him?
yeah, he actually had like 2 or 3 bad games in that series. No, I'm not saying that's gonna happen in this series. He's gonna do well this series. I mean, the Mavericks perimeter defense isn't the greatest, but I feel like we can't really comfortably say that the T Wolves are gonna win, or a large part of their success is going to be because they're not going to be able to contain Anthony Edwards as well. Like I said earlier, I think Karl Anthony Towns is going to be a huge X factor for the Timberwolves. And as long as they can limit everybody else, they 100% absolutely have a chance to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves, because the way the Mavericks like to run their offense, they draw the big, which in this case is going to be Rudy Gobert, away from the basket a lot. The Denver Nuggets found a lot of success when they drew Rudy Gobert away from the basket. And the way the Mavericks played, they like to do that a lot. This is going to sound crazy to say. I'm lagging a shit ton, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just frozen, but the mic was working. Okay, I think you're back. You're good.
But as I was saying, sorry, we had some technical difficulties there. But the Mavericks do like to draw the big away from the basket a lot from their two ball dominant players in Kyrie and Luka Doncic in their screen and rolls. So they'll be able to draw Rudy Gobert from the basket a decent amount. Obviously, they can't do it the entire game because they'll have schemes for that. But also on the defensive end, they can afford to double team Ant a little bit more because Jaden McDaniels is bricks from the 3-point line. He has been all series. Shot 25%, 28% the series. I don't give a shit how many 20-point games he had in this past series. I don't give a shit. I'll let that dude shoot open threes all game. If he hits, then it's his night. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to sit there and worry too much about a 28% free throw or 3-point shooter. I don't give a shit. The main issues here are Cat and Anthony Edwards. And
go ahead.
I did see something the other day that I don't even think he's been playing at all this playoff series, but he could be very important in this series. Maxi Kleba could be solid in this series for them. And as far as setting screen and rolls, because he is a big, I don't know how great he's going to be doing that, but I guess he could be important. And people are saying that he could be important in this series. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the plans are for the offense, but could be true. Probably not.
Maxi Kleba is how they're gonna beat the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I didn't say that. I saw people saying that, but I don't know.
I was interested. I'm glad you brought up. Is he coming back this series? For sure. Because I don't know. But if he's not back,
that's what the buzz is.
If he's not back, who's gonna bring Rudy Gobert out of the paint?
I'm gonna just whichever big he's guarding, either Lively or Gafford.
I mean, I
he
feel
can't
like
guard.
They would just switch Cat onto whatever big, because like Gafford and Lively aren't gonna shoot from out there.
But then are you gonna have Rudy? But then are you gonna have Rudy Gobert guard PJ Washington?
Well, no, Cat would guard PJ Washington.
Then one of them has to guard the big.
Yeah, but the bigs they're not shooting bigs. So why would Gobert have to come out? I guess to like help on screens and stuff, but like
exactly.
But it's not.
He's
so much more dangerous if the bigs can shoot.
It is, but he's gonna have to come up to guard a screen and roll, especially when it's either Luka or Kyrie.
I guess, but like,
and I like that chance a lot better than having him guard PJ Washington, who's been on fire recently. He's been hot.
Yeah, but what about like Jokic and Jamal Murray? Like they still won with him all the way out there on their high pick and rolls. So like, I just don't think that's like as much as you're making it.
Because Michael Porter Jr. and KCP were not shooting well at all this past series. That's why it succeeded. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to succeed for the Mavs, but I think that's the best option that they have because that Nugget series, MPJ and KCP were not playing well at all. They did not look like themselves out there. Bricks.
Yeah. So I'm
defense.
I'm glad that you said that.
These dudes were bricks, wide open shots.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing.
I'm glad that you mentioned MPJ, KCP, and all those guys because, like, to answer your question from earlier, Miles, like, who's going to guard Ant? I like what Kevin said. It's like that's not the focal point of my concern. Like I don't think Timberwolves have to go through Ant. No, it's the guys around him. It's the supporting cast. It's the guys that could have 15 or 20 and make the biggest difference to that game. That's what I'm worried about. So like you said, I mean, Gobert, Cat, Conley, all these guys need to have like really, really good games in order for me to be concerned, right? Because yeah, truthfully, I mean, like Ant is a difference maker in games, and he does get the energy up. He is really good defensively. He grabs the right stuff that he needs to, makes the correct passes and everything. He's a difference maker, but he's not the concern. I'm not scared of him, dropping 30 and sending the Mavericks home in 4. I'm more concerned about the same thing that I was concerned of with the Nuggets, which is that you can stop Jokic, but then you've got 4 other guys on that court that are really good and that have proven that they can shoot lights out during some of those games. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
So those were our picks for the Western Conference Finals. If you guys agree or disagree, let us know in the comments. We would love to debate you. Moving on to our other conference final series over to the Eastern Conference. We got the Indiana Pacers versus the Boston Celtics. Indiana Pacers showing that their in-season tournament finals run may have not been a total fluke after all, after making the Eastern Conference Finals. What do you think about this series?
Celtics in 5.
Okay, we have Celtics in 5. I could have told you that.
I'm gonna go Celtics 6. I feel like Pacers could get 2 games.
I don't know. I was the one who said Pacers would make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but even on, you know, I don't know. It's hard to look at this Celtics team and not imagine them going like Miles said, probably 5. Honestly, and get in 5 games, I see them wrapping up this series. But I hope for the best. I really do, and I'll get into this in a second once Kevin makes his pick. But I absolutely hate all this bullshit that people are putting around the Pacers and how other competitive teams got hurt and all this stuff. It's true, but Pacers still deserve their spot there this year. But go ahead, Kevin.
I'm going to say Celtics in probably 6, but I think it's going to be slightly more competitive than people think it's going to be. I feel like the Pacers are getting dismissed just a little bit. So at the time of this recording, the Celtics and Pacers are actually currently playing their Game 1 series. A few minutes into the third quarter right now, the Celtics are up 2. They just went on a 7-0 run. Got it on my television right here. I just saw it. But so the Pacers are hot right now. They just destroyed the Knicks in game 6 and 7 of the Eastern Conference semis. And then, they shot 67% in game 7 in New York. I mean, I don't care how well you're playing that game. It's insanely hard to beat a team that shoots 67% as a team. The Pacers are a energy team, 100%. When they play with their foot on the gas. The Celtics are kind of the opposite. They're not really an energy team. They kind of just go out there and hoop, essentially. A common trend I've seen with the Celtics a little bit throughout the playoffs and through the season is sometimes they can take their foot off the gas a little bit. And I feel like that's when teams kind of get at them in a game and kind of have their opportunity to get up on them and beat them. Pacers did. Their offense has been elite all year. They're the number 1 scoring offense this year. Like to shoot a lot of threes, like to play insanely fast. Basically, their goal is to outscore you because they're not going to stop you on defense. They probably will outscore you. So, Pacers play pretty fast. Celtics don't really play that fast. They play a little bit slower. If they can influence it to be a very fast-paced game, they can make this series insanely competitive. But if the Celtics do slow the game down, then I see this being a quite easy series for the Celtics.
What do you guys think of the thing that I brought up about how people are kind of saying Pacers are only in this position because of injuries?
I mean, regardless of injuries, you're not given this series. It's not a guaranteed win. You still have to go out there and win the series. Still got to go out there and piece together 4 wins. And that's true of any team. Regardless if your team's hurt, if you have a super team, you still have to go out there and in the game, win the series. That's my take on that.
I mean, it's the same thing when AD and Clay got hurt in the 2019 finals versus the Raptors. Raptors still won with those injuries. You can't count out the Pacers yet, but I think the Celtics are going to take it. They're just clearly the better team, best team in the NBA. 64 wins for a reason. But like Kevin said, they need to slow the game down. They need to play like the team they are. And once they get Porzingis back, I think it's going to be dangerous. I don't know how long he's supposed to be out, but I think a couple games in the Eastern Conference Finals.
They said he can potentially return game 4. I think they're damn near better without him. But obviously it's better to have your team fully healthy than to have people missing, I'm not going to say I don't like being the type of person to say like, oh, they're better without this guy, because I feel like it's, especially in the playoffs, it's best to have your team fully healthy. I said that about the Knicks too when they didn't have Julius Randle.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hard disagree with them being better without Porzingis. Porzingis is such a high volume 3-point shooter that he like the spacing they have when he plays is insane. Like yes, Horford could stretch, but he's not gonna shoot the shots that will actually make you want to close out. He's gonna take them if he's wide open. Porzingis will shoot every single one you give him. So when he gets back, it's gonna be a better matchup for Miles Turner for sure. Miles Turner is kind of my X factor for this series, and he's having a good game one. So
Yeah, he's playing very well right now.
yeah, definitely my X factor. He was my X factor last series too, although he didn't really matter as much as I wanted him to. But this series, it already looks like it's coming to fruition. So I guess we'll see.
I feel like Miles Turner is like one of the most underrated centers in the league.
You know what? Pascal Siakam's what second pick for player he wanted to play with, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. That's so fun. That's so random. So random.
Dude. I don't know. Game 6 and 7 against the Knicks. This African prince looks like he invented the fucking mid-range jump shot, bro. This dude was not missing. Miles Turner's got 20 points, 8-11 shooting, by the way. Not like it matters. Goddamn. That screen and roll two-man action with him and Andrew Nembhard looked like the greatest play in basketball I've ever seen in my life.
Stockton and Malone-esque.
Damn near. But oh my God, he would catch the ball at the top of the key, free throw line, shoot it. It just bottoms every single time.
If I can ask one more question before we move on, has the general opinion for you guys changed in Western versus Eastern Conference? I know you guys never really kind of were on the same page with me on this, but like I was a lot more confident that the West would be the winners of this championship when the Nuggets were the ones who I thought were going to come out. Now I'm a little bit more hesitant, but I'm just curious, what you guys think. I think honestly, I might go to the dark side. I think Celtics might take this one. I'm feeling it a little bit.
I
Don't say
said
shit,
East.
Miles.
I said East from the start, and I'm gonna roll
Yeah, I
with
know
it,
you
bro. You know my Celtics are winning this year.
I'm not
It'd be
impressed
nice.
by the Celtics and Timberwolves Mickey Mouse runs. I'm just kidding. That's not true. Obviously, it's not true. But I mean, I still think the West is better. I mean, just the amount of great teams they have in there. But as far as who is going to win the NBA Finals, honestly, man, I don't know. I mean, the conference finals quite literally just started an hour and a half ago. So we really have to see how these series go. I mean, Boston they haven't had a real test yet. Maybe the Pacers can give them that test. I think if Boston were to make the finals, which they should, and I think they will, I think it'd be a lot easier of a series if they play Dallas rather than Minnesota. But I think damn near everybody is rooting for a Minnesota Boston series as far as entertainment and competitiveness, as far as a playoff series. The conference finals, I think this is what everybody wanted because the number one option on all four of these teams, the oldest player is 26 years old, and that's Tatum. So the torch is being passed. Young generations here for sure.
Reminds me of the KD and Westbrook Thunder, the Celtics team. Brings a tear to my eye.
I don't know if you guys had seen the list of the last 10 conference teams, but it looks like we've got 3 teams this year that haven't made a playoff appearance or sorry, an conference finals appearance in the last 10 years. So yeah, this
Wrong.
it's nice that they shook it up.
It has to be wrong.
It's not.
Pacers made a conference finals in 2014.
2014.
Mavericks did a couple years ago,
Yeah,
and then
bro.
Celtics have been doing it.
Luka's chopped off 2 1 seeds in the past like 2 playoff runs he's been on. Crazy.
I cannot believe the Mavs made it this far. I'm gonna be so real, bro.
Yeah, I
That's
Believe
didn't
it.
see them.
mind-blowing. It's mind blowing.
I can't believe Timberwolves made it this far. That's my team that I'm thoroughly surprised by.
Those trade deadline acquisitions might be the greatest in history if they make it to the finals. Is that Dude, PJ Washington and Gafford are literally like the biggest difference. Like, imagine where they'd be without them. They'd be first round
Grant
exits.
Williams.
Like they'd be first round exits, bro. I can't believe the fucking Clippers sold me, bro. I'm still pissed about that. I had so much faith.
A team with James Harden and Paul George. I can't even say James Harden because he played good. A team with Paul George on it in the playoffs. Where's Paul though? Pandemic P. He's got all the nicknames. These nicknames aren't for no reason.
Joel
For
Embiid is
all of the
worse.
reasons.
Joel Embiid is worse.
Joel Embiid is worse. Tyrese Halliburton made a conference finals before Embiid. Damn.
In his first playoff appearance, right? Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
First playoff appearance, and he goes all the way to the Eastern Conference. I know Embiid is destroying his place right now. No, who am I kidding? I hate that dude. I figured out why I hate him too. It's because I forgot about all the clumsy shit. I forgot all about how like he's a dangerous player and that he does dumb shit and gets other people hurt. That's why I haven't liked him, and I couldn't remember what the reason was, but it was a lot more prevalent last few seasons before this one.
Do you guys think Tony Brothers kind of looks like Binkers or no?
A little bit, yeah.
Like just like
Yeah.
slightly. I hope you keep that in the pod and you can just like fade up a picture of Binkers and Tony Brothers side to side.
That's
That'd
what
be
I was
funny
gonna
as
do.
hell.
Tony Brothers looks like he eats those one snacks. What are they called? Corn nuts. You know what those are? He looks like he goes to like Walgreens every morning before a game and gets a nice 3-pack of corn nuts.
And
I have
a
never
black
seen
Java
anybody-
coffee. No
I've
lid.
never seen anybody eat those.
Work at Walgreens, you'll be surprised.
He
But
looks like every ref I've ever had in AAU for some reason.
he is
Everyone
he
looks like that.
he is a very default looking referee.
Really?
But yeah, 100%. But
That's kind of surprising.
those are our picks and our studies on the current playoff talk. Make sure you guys are watching these conference finals. I think they're going to be good. Do your homework. We're going to be doing ours. Now we're going to head on to some off-season talk. You know, off-season is always a great time. I think we're going to have a good off-season this year. I mean, as NBA fans, not as Chicago Bulls fans. We don't get those. But starting off, Malik Monk could be heavily pursued this offseason and is anticipated to receive around $25 million a year. Teams that are pursuing a consistent scorer off the bench and kind of a Kickstarter could really go after him, such as the Oklahoma City Thunder and Philadelphia 76ers are anticipated to really make a push for him. Malik Monk had a really good season, was in the running for the sixth man of the year.
It's tough that he got
As
injured
far-
at the end.
Yeah, that is
sucked.
very unfortunate. As far as the Sixers, honestly, the Sixers can get Moses and Jesus themselves, and I still think they would fold and not make the conference finals. But as far as the Oklahoma City Thunder, I don't really want the Thunder to add anybody. I want them to run it back with the squad they just had. They just need experience and maybe another big.
Yeah. Trade for
I-
Steven Adams, bring him back.
You know, fun fact, the Thunder actually drafted Derek Lively on draft night this year, but traded him to Dallas. And then he was the one that kind of won Dallas that game 6 in the final minute of the game where he scored like 8 points, hit clutch free throws, got some boards. So it's kind of a bittersweet moment.
True.
But I personally would like to see the Thunder run it back. I mean, it's not going to hurt adding Malik Monk. I don't think it would. But as far as having J-Dub and Malik Monk out there, I don't really know if I like that, or bringing one of them off the bench. Again, I just don't really think I'm a fan. I really want to see this Thunder team run it back now that they have experience and see how far they can go. I definitely don't think they should add Kevin Durant as much as I kind of would, as much as I like low-key kind of like would want to see it and kind of like rooting for that to happen. They shouldn't. In all
Maybe
honesty, they shouldn't.
Westbrook instead.
Since you brought up the Thunder, I saw that Jarrett Allen is possibly going to get traded from Cleveland, and one of the places that were targeting him was Oklahoma City Thunder. I would like that better than Malik Monk because, like you said, I think they need more size than they do need to get rid of or to get guards in there. And another thing too about running it back, I think the Thunder are also looking to get rid of Josh Giddey as well.
I saw the team. They should get rid of Josh Giddey. He doesn't fit. I never really thought he fit.
That's true.
I never really thought he fit in that lineup and just with that team in general. But I did see the team that is most likely to land him is the Washington Wizards, which if that happens, Josh Giddey's career will die and we will never hear from him ever again. Mark my words.
He's
I'm gonna
looking
hold
for
you to that, but I don't disagree.
He's looking for a different type of baddie in the crowd with Jordan Poole.
Oh yeah,
Different.
that could be. Oh no, never mind. Never mind.
Dude, I was gonna ask the question, what team exactly does Josh Giddey fit on? Like what the fuck?
Dong Tigers.
The Taiwan with Dwight Howard, they could use him.
He wasn't even starting in like the second half of like that Mavs series. He would start the game and then he wouldn't start the second half. Just sit him.
Yeah, he was like me in high school. You start me because I'm a senior, and then like I don't really play that much.
So
Perfect.
I'm not gonna defend Josh Giddey, but what I did want to say was
No,
just
defend
that
him.
no, what I did want to say was that early in the season, it seemed like, this young Thunder team did like having him on that roster, and it looked like, a lot of guys were friends with him. And I, I feel like that's been such a big reason why that Thunder team did so well, was just like the camaraderie and the chemistry between those guys on the court. It's not every day that you see, 1 through 12 guys just leave the bench and go immediately to a huddle to, stand around one guy taking or doing an interview. I don't know. I think crap. My closet door open. Sorry, get out. Yeah, I don't know. I guess when it comes to Giddey, I don't care if he leaves the Thunder, but I do think it would be something that other guys on that team may care about. And it could cause issues. But to the point of what we're talking about, Malik Monk. Yeah, personally, I'm with Kevin on this one. I don't want to see the Thunder switch up too much. I think that they don't really need much more. They have a lot of the tool sets that they need to be successful, especially with, an aging West with a lot of superstars coming to the end of the road. I think the Thunder could be really successful next year. I'm not going to say that adding Malik Monk, won't be a good thing, but I would say one thing I did want to say is that if I was Malik Monk, I definitely don't want to end up on the Sixers, and I sure as shit definitely don't want to end up on Detroit. I think that because I'm looking at,
Was Detroit even an option?
Yeah, so
was it really? Oh
4 teams:
shit.
Orlando Magic, Thunder, Philadelphia, and Pistons. And Orlando wouldn't be terrible for him. I don't think. But I'm curious, what's the situation of him on the Kings? Why are they forcing him out? Or is this, what's the situation with that?
He can just get a lot of money elsewhere. They're talking about
Okay.
him getting 25 mil a year.
I saw that. For averaging 15, I mean that's some solid paper for this guy. I mean, granted, he is really good, but yeah, I mean, I guess if I was him, I would want to end up on the Thunder. Maybe, get to Magic, but Kings are not a bad team to stay around on. I mean, I don't think it would be the worst decision for him to stay on that team and maybe take a little bit of a pay cut to be successful next year. But that's just my general opinion.
The Kings are also anticipated to push for Jonas Valanciunas too. I don't know if that would influence him to stay, but just thought I'd put that out there.
Valanciunas is good.
I want them to get like more of a stretch big to play with Sabonis, because like Valanciunas and Sabonis, I feel like it's just gonna be so clogged.
Valanciunas can hit threes.
Yeah, but it's not like what he wants. He doesn't want to like just shoot threes.
What about
you know what I
Keegan
mean?
Murray?
He's
What
not
about
a
him?
big though.
I know, but he plays the 4. Do you guys think he'd go to a
But
bench? Because that's what Miles made it seem like. Jonas Valanciunas was starting the Sabonis at the 4.
that would be my assumption too.
I mean, that's kind of what I thought. I think Harrison Barnes would actually go to the bench first.
And then what? Keegan Murray at the 3.
Yeah, it's kind of what I imagined it being, but
What I would do.
That works,
mean-
right? How tall is Keegan Murray?
Even like, bro, Kevin Herter. No, I'm kidding. You need that shooting, but
Oh, Kevin Herter is on the team. Oh my God.
yeah, I was
I
gonna
forgot.
say. I mean, it makes sense in theory, but like he fits like that lineup better because you need a space.
Yeah.
But I don't like Valanciunas there at all, to be honest. I don't know
I don't
why they
really
would
either.
do that. But I was just gonna say, like, the one opinion I have from just what I've heard so far is like the Magic. I think a lot of people fit good on the Magic, but
Especially scores.
I think they're so guard heavy right now, and I think that the guards that they're gonna get back aren't really up to par with like what the Kings would want from Malik Monk. If they were to trade him, which obviously they're not, he's going to sign there. But I mean, you have Cole Anthony, you have Fultz, you have Harris, you have Suggs, you have like I know there's more I'm missing, but I feel like there's just so many like guards fighting for minutes on that team already, and they're like promising too. I
Yeah.
guess like the one weird one I guess would be like Cole Anthony. Like a lot of people talk about he doesn't know what his role is, but like from the few games I've watched this season, he's like an energy bringer, you know, like I like him. I feel like we talk about the Thunder having this camaraderie and chemistry, but I also feel like the Magic are one of those teams where it's like young guys in the foxhole against the world, you know? So I don't really I just kind of like their situation with their guards, their core, and I feel like Monk would just kind of mess that up a little bit. But on the contrary, like Kevin said, they do need scoring. Like scoring is a must for them because they don't, besides Paolo and Franz, there really isn't a lot of consistent scoring out there. So I could see it either way, but I see a lot of similarities with the Thunder and the Magic that we've been talking about.
Right. I mean, Cole Anthony does bring the energy, but I feel like Jalen Suggs brings the energy just a little bit better and a little bit more than Cole Anthony does.
True.
So I feel like I really like the comparison you made with the Thunder and the Magic. I feel like they do have a lot of similarities and like a lot of differences too, obviously. But
Mhm.
like if the Thunder were to get rid of a guard, it'd be Giddy. And if the Magic were to get rid of a guard, I feel like it should be Cole Anthony. I feel like the Thunder have a little bit more established of who can they get rid of, but the Magic probably have to figure it out just a little bit better. But I think it should be Cole Anthony just because I feel like he is good, but I feel like Suggs kind of just brings the energy a little bit more. Gary Harris did have a really good year this year, and Fultz is solid. You know, he's not the number one pick that we thought he was going to be. You know, shout out to the just that insanely weird injury that he had. But I think them bringing in another more scoring guard such as Monk can be good. Also, I feel like we should add that the Thunder do have a lottery pick this year.
That's insane, bro.
This
The
isn't their
number,
only one though in the next 5 years though, isn't it?
even if it is, it's a lottery pick, and you guys just finished number one in the Western Conference.
Yeah, no, that's still yeah.
Shout out Sam Presti.
Insane.
It's Dalton Connect time, bro. You
He
already
might
know.
go. He might go earlier than that. Honestly, would they be stupid to take Edie?
Oh yeah, Edie. That's like the one situation they actually might be able to fit Edie in. I was under the impression Edie wouldn't be a lottery pick, but I haven't checked
No,
the draft boards in a minute, so
his stock has been rising really good because he was seen like shooting threes at the combine, and he was like hitting them.
I know the 1-3 he hit this season was against us. So shout out Zach
Yeah,
Edie.
I mean, it makes sense for them. It wouldn't make sense for them to get like Reed Shepard or like
Yeah,
Rob Dillingham if he somehow falls that far. But
yeah,
a big would be their way to go. You know, they still do have Gordon Hayward, who was frustrated with the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's kind of just organization. He did express that in a post-game interview. He said that he felt like he had a lot more to offer than the time he was given to play.
yeah.
Maybe he did, but I don't really know.
And
I haven't really watched much Gordon Hayward basketball the past few years to really give my opinion on that.
I have. He's been nasty. I feel
I
like
know he just went straight from a starter to the bench, so then like barely playing. So sorry, Daniel, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no,
But it was
I
like a
mean,
starter for the Hornets, you know, like
Yeah.
where else could he start? I'm sure he could
one
start on
thing
a lot of teams, but
No, I just wanted to add that with the Malik Monk situation, it was reported in April, according to Basketball Reference, that Monk was pursuing another deal with Sacramento. So, I mean, it's still possible for him to stay there. I just wanted to throw that out there because it seems like he's not in an immediate rush to leave that team, which is a good sign because I would rather him stay there. But yeah, it looks like his interest is kind of more towards Sacramento still.
I feel like usually with the contracts and when players are looking for new contracts or contracts extensions, they would prefer to stay with the team they're already playing with if they offer them the money. If not, they're gonna go somewhere else that's gonna value them more, like how Jalen Brunson did. He was gonna stay with the Mavericks until the Knicks offered him more money.
That is
What
true.
a fuck up, man.
I don't even think the Mavericks.
Fuck up.
I don't even think the Mavericks even offered him a contract like that. Like it was like not a lot of money, which is crazy.
Yeah, it was like
But
a low ball.
yeah, like it was insane. Like it was like all right, and especially after the playoff series, he had to.
So
But
Mark Cuban can pay all them janitors, but he can't pay Jalen Brunson and get a championship. It's crazy.
man, he got Kyrie Irving. But
Yeah.
It
speaking of
ain't
two
Jalen
guards,
Brunson.
speaking of two guards possibly leaving their team, Cavaliers have a lot of questions this offseason. Is Garland leaving? Is Mitchell leaving? Now there's reports that what's his face? Jared Allen could possibly go to the Thunder. Rockets and Grizzlies are dark horse candidates to land Donovan Mitchell. Sure. That's kind of how I feel about this.
Grizzlies
I'm
would be
trying to think.
tough.
Grizzlies will be tough. They're in like a really weird spot because they had an insanely bad season, but they didn't have John Morant the whole time. They dealt a lot with injuries, but then they would have Donovan Mitchell, Marcus Smart, John Morant. Obviously, one of them would probably have it'd probably be Smart that goes, but I feel like John Morant, Desmond Bain are obviously locks. They're not going anywhere. Triple J obviously isn't going anywhere. I mean, he's their best defensive player, one of the best in the league. So it probably would get Smart, which sucks for him because I completely forgot about Marcus Smart as an NBA player.
A lot of people did.
Like, literally, and that's so unfortunate because I'm a big fan of Marcus Smart's game. But maybe the Rockets could be decent.
Yeah, I rescind what I said about the Grizzlies. I'd love to use that team in 2K, but if Garland, who is much more pass first than John Morant is, if he can't work with Garland, I'm not really convinced he could work with John Morant either.
Yeah.
But he might be able to work with Fred. I get to see it. I mean,
What does
obviously
that mean for Jalen Green, though? You know?
I mean, it means the same thing we saw pretty much all season is he's basically the last option in the starting lineup still, if he even starts at that point. So who would that be projected lineup be? It'd be Fred, it would be Mitchell, it would be Jabari Smith, it would be Sengun. Wouldn't Green still slot in there?
Dylan
Just
Brooks.
Dylan Brooks off the bench.
They'd probably start Dylan Brooks just for his defensive presence. But to acquire Mitchell, they might have to get rid of Jalen Green.
I would say yes. I would say send that
100%.
immediately. Like I like Jalen Green, and I would still say send that.
But like, what else would they have to give up?
Mm,
The Cavs are expecting multiple draft picks too, I think.
probably Cam Whitmore would go too.
Cam Whitmore, yeah. Jalen Green, Cam Whitmore,
Probably a couple draft picks or
Deshaun
some
Tate.
along those lines.
some future picks. So it'd be Darius Garland and Jalen Green time.
I mean, Garland would get his wish. Garland would go back to being the main player on the team, the leader, which I
An
think,
all-star.
yeah, I think he's definitely better in that role. But I mean, it's weird, bro. It's weird for both sides. Like seeing a switch up like that. Jalen Green on the Cavs. I mean,
It
I
would be
could
weird.
see, as I said, I'm a fan of Jalen Green. I could see him coming into his own on a team like that. Just getting
He
a new
maybe could.
situation, new start. But yeah, I mean, he's gonna have a point guard that feats him. So we'll see. I mean, honestly, this is a weird one to even give an opinion on. But
Right.
I
Kind of
mean,
to go ahead.
I mean, shit. He was cooking up at the end of the season. And one thing about the Cavs is I had high expectations for them. Like 2021, I was like, I thought this team was going to be something in the future. It's kind of a shame what it's been happening now, like the fall off. And Donovan Mitchell is probably going to leave. Darius Garland, whatever one's going to leave, and then possibly leaving is Jared Allen too. So a rebuild for that whole team would be crazy.
Yeah. Kind of to converge this topic with the next, it involves Darius Garland. So I think the verdict is if Cleveland does decide to bring back Donovan Mitchell, they believe that Darius Garland is going to want out. And it came out as a report that teams are preferring Darius Garland over Trae Young in trades, more specifically, the Spurs.
I like it.
That's not bad.
I like that a lot too.
If I'm the Spurs, that's not a bad, offer.
It's better
not at all.
defensively.
It's a lot better defensively. Playmaking wise, it's pretty good. Garland is pass first. He obviously doesn't offer the scoring like that Trae Young does, but he does have better defense.
I also feel like he fits the Spurs culture much better than Trae Young does.
I feel like he does too. He's younger.
Just less egotistical, willing to give up his personality to fit into the system. Trae Young might struggle with something like that.
Not that, the Spurs are dying to keep, some of their guys on their team, but I do think that it would probably be a lot easier to acquire Garland than it would to acquire Trae Young, and they'd probably not have to give up as much, I would assume.
Saw another reason that Donovan Mitchell wanted out of Cleveland was he was frustrated with the teammates' lack of seriousness, lack of preparation, and I can't remember the last one as well.
Maturity.
Maturity, yeah.
I'm pointing fingers at Karis LeVert.
Bro, I'm so glad you said that because I was about to say the same shit. Why does
Really?
he seem so immature? Like,
I-
why did
I
I
have-
think it was him right away?
I have zero reason to believe that, but I just do. Because
Same, bro. It's weird.
it can't be Mobley.
Or
It can't be
Jared
Mobley.
Allen.
Jared Allen, I don't know. He seems too much like a nerd to be him.
That's what I was saying. I don't think it would be Jared Allen.
I don't know.
I did want to. Oh, go ahead.
I just said he looks like he'd spend $850 on the Millennium Falcon Lego set.
I also don't think it would be our boy Madian Strus either.
Is that your way of saying that Wemby's not serious?
And the Wemby's very serious. He goes to
No.
bed at 8 p.m.
Yeah, what?
He mentioned the $850 Millennium Falcon. Apparently, that's what Wemby, like, the first thing that he bought was that when he
Was
got
the
his
fir-
paycheck.
That's
His first
actually
NBA
sick.
His first NBA check, he bought an $850 Millennium Falcon Lego set. I'm like jealous because I love Legos, especially the Star Wars ones. Not important to this at all. But
It took
Where were we?
an NBA check to get a $850 Lego set.
Well, just think,
Bro, he had money before the NBA. Why did it take?
you think Metropolitan 82 was paying him like that?
I mean,
They went
850
bankrupt.
850 ain't even a rack, bro.
Dude,
he was probably
you know-
okay. Like, if we actually quantified it, he's probably making like under 100K a year, and like I think for anyone, spending $1,000 on Lego sets is something that you don't want to do like randomly. But then when you get a check, your first check, or who knows how much of a buttload of money they gave him, you're I think you're gonna be like, why not?
That first pick sign-on bonus is probably like 15 mil. But that team that Wemby played for, his first season not there, that team filed for bankruptcy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Once Wemby left, they're like, all right, fuck this team.
It's like G League Ignite after like Jalen Green left. It basically just plummeted.
It was like that team LeVar Ball started, or that league he started.
JBL. Was that it?
It was the JBL. I was trying to think of the name and I could not remember it
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
Remember when they went on a USA tour for some reason and Melo had that one like half spin move ankle breaker? Shit was tough. Shout out Lonzo Ball for wearing those shoes and ruining his career too.
I
Hey, the Ball
don't think
Brothers
that's
started a
crazy.
podcast now.
Oh, I'm not listening to it. I'm not
We're
listening to
cooked.
that.
Yeah, we are because bro, the Ball Brothers they have so much clout.
They do,
And,
but
and
oh
they're
my
funny
God.
as fuck, dude. I
They are
love
funny.
like Melo interviews, bro. They're hilarious.
You
Melo's
think
not
so?
on it. It's just
Oh,
it's Leangelo,
never mind.
Alonzo. Do you remember Alonzo's trainer Demo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and then someone else.
Oh, I think I can guess who it is. It's that other guy that was on Ball's Life. That was always around them. Not Lonzo's trainer though. The other dude. That's like friends with Leangelo. And he was like always at their house for some reason.
Crazy
But
that only players who don't play be starting podcasts.
Like us.
Where's the Jason Tatum podcast?
He's
Where's
been
the
on
Luka
JJ Redick's.
Doncic? Where's the Luka Doncic podcast?
Also
on
been
a
on
JJ Redick.
Redick's.
Okay, I can go on an episode. I'm saying like their own podcast.
I don't think Luca would ever start his own
Easy
podcast.
Tiger.
Is it MPJ that has his on? Yeah,
Yeah.
Does he have a podcast?
he does.
I guess Josh Hart and
Oh, George.
Brunson.
Yeah, Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson.
Paul George don't play though. Well, he did this
George
season,
plays.
but the 2 seasons before when he had it, he didn't fucking play.
Who?
Paul George.
It's
Oh.
like he doesn't play sometimes. It's when he plays, it's like he doesn't play.
I never got to say where I would like to see Donovan Mitchell. I was kind of just absorbing all the information that you guys were throwing at me. But no, I would much rather see Donovan Mitchell on the Rockets. I think two schools of thought here. Number one, earlier in the season, I think before the season even started, I said that Donovan Mitchell, I still think could potentially be one of the best players in the league. I just thought that something needed to change. Either that was an addition to the Cavs or a change of scenery for him. So I'm all for him going to a team and trying to kind of settle into either a first or second, option kind of spot. I would much, like you guys said, just watching the Grizzlies play, I don't think that he would be a good fit there, although their offense would most likely be a little bit more lethal and a little bit more dangerous. I think that, we've talked about the Rockets being a little bit unexperienced and just being young in general. I think that Donovan Mitchell could kind of add a little cherry on top for them of someone that is, experienced and has been in this league and doing the thing for a while. However, he is moving to the West, and we saw how that went for LeBron. Well, it's not a good point because he won a championship.
Won a ring.
But yeah, but West is harder, and it would be a change up for Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if he would see as much success as he has in the East.
Donovan Mitchell was in the West and led his team to several 1 seeds.
Yeah, but they didn't do shit in the playoffs. He hasn't seen success at all, like in the playoffs. Utah or Cleveland.
You could say that for a lot of people.
Yeah, but for Daniel's point specifically, it makes sense.
I beg.
Anyway, let's move on.
So I have a list of 10 players still remaining in the playoffs. Miles, Daniel, and Victor are going to blind rank them based off their high school rating going into college. Let's see how close they can get. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the first player, and you guys are going to put them 1 through 10. First player on the list, Kyle Anderson.
4.
He seemed like 8 to me.
Don't judge them off now. Judge them when they were coming out of high school.
Yeah,
Bro, was he really smooth like that? Y'all see his
He was
jump
good.
shot?
He was good, bro.
was he?
You guys
Was
have
he
to
the
come to a
one-
collective agreement.
We should just go 5. Just mid. Set the bar.
Yeah, let's go 6.
5's cool. I
We
like
can go
6
5.
better.
Yeah, you want to go 6?
Dude,
Miles?
I
Or you think it's
remember
gonna get
him
better?
being ranked like high, bro. I'm telling y'all 5. Just commit, bro. Just commit to 5.
All right,
It's our
five.
first
majority of
one.
6.
We'll listen to you. 5.
Going 5.
Oh,
All right,
no,
so
baby.
we're gonna go ahead and throw Kyle Anderson at the 5. Next player, Miles Turner.
This was the hard one. This is the one I was dreading because I have no idea.
I've never seen Miles Turner high school tape myself.
I feel like 6.
I'm thinking 4.
All right, Daniel, 4 or 6.
I'm thinking 6.
All right, we can go 6.
All right, so we're locking Miles Turner in at 6. All right, the third player I am going to give you guys, Jaylen Brown.
He
Or
didn't go to a great college. Well, he went to a
He did
great
not.
college, but not a great sports college, so he may not
Yeah,
have been
exactly.
ranked that highly.
But he went there because he was
I feel like I
smart.
remember Jaylen Brown being like insane.
Yeah, but he could have went to like Duke, Duke is the same.
Did he graduate though, or did he go one and done?
I think he went one and done. I don't know
I think
for
he
sure.
went one and done, but I think he might have graduated still.
How did?
As Berkeley.
Continue to do school.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
Feeling
I don't
like
know.
seven.
Something scratching the edge of my brain saying that Jaylen Brown, if I remember correctly, was unreal in high school. Because I feel like I remember seeing a tape during that portion where I was very high on the fact that Tatum couldn't lead a team, and I thought that Jaylen Brown was really the guy that stepped up. And I was looking at film of Jaylen Brown. I feel like he was good, but
He does have the play style to get massive mixtape views and exposure, I guess.
But no
But
left
he
hand.
he didn't go to a reputable program though, bro. That's what's throwing me off. Where did Miles Turner go to college? Was it Texas?
Yeah, it was Texas.
Okay. I'm glad we put him there. I don't know where the fuck Kyle Anderson went. I just remember looking at a list and I was like, damn, bro, Kyle Anderson ranked high as fuck. I
Yeah,
don't know.
now I don't know. I think we should have ranked Kyle Anderson a little bit higher. But what do you guys think? I know Miles said 7. I think that's
Let's
a
go.
little low, but
I'm feeling 7.
7, like his jersey number. Let's go.
that's fair. All right,
I
we'll
like
go
that.
7.
All right, we're going number 7 for Jaylen Brown. Next up on the list, the next player is his Batman, Jason Tatum.
See, this
2.
one,
2.
if
Well, who's left? Who's left in the playoff?
Yeah.
Kyrie is left. Kyrie is left.
Yeah.
So I'm saying 2. 2 or 1. That St. Louis mixtape was huge.
Ant's definitely going to be on here. I'd be thoroughly surprised if he didn't put Ant on here.
Went to Duke. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Ants.
Anthony.
One,
You know him?
3-1. 3. Oh yeah, Anthony.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Anthony.
that's my cousin.
Halliburton's going to be in there. Halliburton, I'd
Halliburton's last. He was a 3-star,
Yeah.
okay.
but he actually said he was a 0-star. They just slapped 3-star once he got to college.
I'm going to help you guys out here. Tyrese Halliburton is not on this list.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put Tatum at 2 because Kyrie wasn't as rankings weren't as fluent as they are now, so Kyrie could have easily been ranked lower if he throws Kyrie. Also, he played with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was also super high ranked, so that might be wrong. I don't know.
So do you know for sure that Tatum
Yeah, he went to
was
Duke.
highly okay.
He went to Duke, yeah. He was a 5-star. I'm going 2. I think
Yeah.
2.
That's okay.
2
is
is
fine.
cool.
I was feeling 3, but we'll go 2.
All right, so we got Jason Tatum. You guys put him at number 2. Next person on the list that I'm going to give you is Anthony Edwards.
He's probably like
I'm thinking 3
I
or
wanted
4.
to say 1.
I'd
I
say
feel
4.
I feel like Ant was a 5-star who committed to his home state school.
I feel like Cat might be number 1.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
Cat-
true.
yeah,
Or
that's-
Kyrie, bro.
that's-
Okay, let's just think. Where are we gonna put Kyrie?
If Kyrie
4?
is on here, which I think he is, I would, since we lost 2, I mean, I would put him at, I guess, 3.
So if we're not putting Ant or Kyrie at 1, who's going at 1? Cat?
Say
if he's
Cat.
on here.
I
Three.
don't think Cat got a Duke offer though, did he?
He was a #1 pick in the draft.
This isn't a draft pick video though.
I know,
Yeah,
but
this
he
is
went
out of high
to
school.
This is out of high school, bud.
he went to
It's
Kentucky,
different.
didn't he? Yeah, he went to Kentucky.
Yeah, but it ain't Duke.
Why are you acting like Kentucky's not legit?
They're
Yeah,
legit. They're
why
just
are you acting like Duke is like?
they're
I mean,
Kentucky's legit, but Duke is more legit.
Yeah, but
Duke
that
is the
doesn't
best
like.
college basketball program at that time, easily. That's why I want to put my Duke
UCLA.
heads up. Not even. I'd say Duke is more prominent in this time.
Yeah.
Duke is more prominent than Kentucky.
I'm saying Anthony Edwards at 3.
Okay, I'll roll with it.
Wait, actually,
Maybe 4. Save 1 and 3 for Cat and Kyrie.
yeah, that's smarter, just in case. So 4.
There's another thing too is I feel like the bigs are ranked higher.
Bigs can be, but I don't think Rudy Gobert was. I mean,
He wasn't even in high school because he was an international player.
oh
Nice try.
jeez.
Let's.
Oops.
I vote Ant at 4.
Now you want to go 4?
I agreed with him because
Yeah.
we said Kyrie and if Cat come up, then we would want to do that. So
All right, yeah, that's fine. 4.
can you remind
That's
us what places are not taken up, Kevin? It's 1, 3.
8, 9, 10.
Okay.
Yes. All right, next player on the list that I'm going to give you guys is Karl Anthony Towns.
Okay. So
I like
I know-
1.
yeah, I think 1.
1.
It's unanimous.
All right, so we had to do a little switch up with the camera, ran into some technical difficulties, so I should point that out. Doesn't matter. We're still continuing this trend. So you guys went with Karl Anthony Towns at the 1 spot. I'm going to go ahead and give you your next player, Jaden Hardy.
8.
We can't put him at 2. Obviously. One of these names in
That
here
might
though
be a
is going to
dark
be a
horse,
really
dude.
high pick.
Yeah.
One of these names in here he picked because this is a player that actually was like the most you get the picture.
That's why I said the lowest
All right, 8.
spot we have left that isn't, or the highest spot we have left that isn't number 3.
I have a feeling the next pick he's going to do it is the one that's the unreal phenomenon out of college that just turned off. Go ahead though. So 8. I think our consensus is 8.
All right, we're going to lock in Jaden Hardy at 8. Up next, Kyrie Irving.
3.
3.
3.
Fill the 3.
Okay, we're locking in Kyrie Irving at 3. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have 9 and 10 left. The next player I'm going to give you is Derek Lively.
Shit. 9. It's got to be 9.
Yeah,
9.
Fuck. I forgot about Lively, bro. Fuck. Damn it. Damn, bro. You was so
I told
good
you it
in
was going to be the
college.
one after this that he was going to make it like really hard, or he was going to make it someone
How
else.
do we Dude, we literally talked about Duke. How do we forget him? Fuck. All right. We got screwed on that. It's
So
fine.
we're putting Derek Lively at 9, and that leaves Jaden McDaniels at 10.
I'm cool with it.
All right. So real quick, I'm going to read your guys' blind ranking top 10 for the players left in the playoffs that were most highly ranked coming out of high school. All these guys that I named, all of them were the top 10 highest ranked players coming out of high school out of all the guys left in the playoffs right now. So at number 10, you guys said Jaden McDaniels. At number 9, you had Derek Lively. At number 8, you had Jaden Hardy. At number 7, you had Jaylen Brown. 6, Miles Turner. 5, Kyle Anderson. 4, Anthony Edwards. 3, Kyrie Irving. 2, Jason Tatum. Number 1, Karl Anthony Towns.
The list is backwards, isn't it?
I'm going to read the official top 10 now. At number 10, of the official list, Jaden McDaniels.
Let's go.
Good job.
You guys got that correct. That's a great start.
It's all downhill. I already know it's fucking coming.
You might be surprised. Oh, you'll be surprised. But at number 9 of the official list, Miles Turner. You guys originally had him at 6.
Okay.
That hurts.
Fair.
But
At number 8, this is kind of where the downhill turn kind of starts. Karl Anthony Towns.
wow.
Victor,
Y'all
I'm
had
sorry,
him.
I tried.
I saw you.
Y'all had him. But if you guys didn't put him at 1, you're going to put him at 2 or 3.
Yeah,
So
I would not.
yeah,
I still would not have put
it
him that
would've-
low.
it wouldn't have been amazing.
Oh, watch
So-
Kyle Anderson be 3.
Bro, he got
Number
the interview KD.
Number 8 on the official list was Karl Anthony Towns when you guys had him at number 1. Number 7 on the official list, Jason Tatum.
I knew
guys
it.
had him?
Wow.
I knew it. I
guys had him?
told you.
You guys had him at number 2.
Wow.
I knew it because
kinda
I've never
crazy.
seen anything.
That's
I'll
like
crazy.
it.
I'll take credit for that. That blows my mind. That's a 6'8" silk smooth shooter,
I would have guessed the same
level
thing.
scorer. How the fuck is he that low?
I would have.
You're telling me
100%
Jaden
guessed the same.
Hardy is a higher fucking
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
Dude,
crazy.
hey,
Hey,
that's why this is a crazy game, man.
hold on. If Kyle
Yeah.
Anderson is somehow number 1,
He's not, but I think he's
I'm
3.
leaving the podcast.
Okay, you heard it, guys.
All
Yeah,
right.
I voted
so
for.
No more videos anymore, guys.
Continuing on with the list, at number 6 on the official list, Jaylen Brown. Y'all had him at 7. You were really close.
We'll take that.
At number 5 on the official list, Kyle Anderson. Y'all got that one correct.
Let's go.
Oh wow.
Hey, let's
okay,
go,
okay,
boy.
good stuff.
Odds alive.
So y'all got that one correct.
So Hardy is top
Anthony-
4. Jeez.
I know
told
we
you.
picked Ant to be like top 3. I think we said top 3 or top 4. No, we put him top 4.
Yeah, we had him at 4.
Okay,
I think
so
that's safe.
Jaden Hardy is top 4, and he is exactly number 4. Y'all picked him at number 8.
Damn.
Some disparity there.
Yeah, not giving him his flowers.
Number 3 on the official list, Kyrie Irving, and you guys had him at number 3. That is correct.
There we go.
Number 2 on the official list is Anthony Edwards. You guys had
Wow.
him at number 4, so not that far off. And number 1 on the list, the player in the playoffs that was ranked the highest coming out of high school out of all these guys, Derek Lively. You guys had him at number 9.
That was a fuck up on me.
Damn, we like fucked the whole list up. I think that was damn near a miss. Well, that
Well,
was a miss. Damn near
what was our-
a massive miss.
What was
Yeah,
our
3
biggest
out of 10.
mistake? Who was our first pick that we did at 5?
It was
I mean,
Lively
you
and Tatum, I think, were our biggest
You-
mistakes.
Yeah, you had Tatum at 2 when he was 7. You had Cat at 1 when he was 8, and Derek Lively at 9 when he was number 1.
Who did we have at 5?
Kyle Anderson.
Kyle Anderson, you guys got that one right.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
We got Kyle Anderson.
And Jaden
you see-
McDaniels.
You see how surprising this list is, though.
Yeah. Ant being 2 is very surprising to me, even though like obviously I haven't seen too much of his, stuff. I don't know. It's still
He
surprising.
grew up in the social media age. Notice how like the young guys, well, I guess not Kyrie, but most of the young guys are in the high spots.
Yeah.
The highlight era. All right, that is going to be an end of Good Morning Let's Basketball this week. We want to thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, we want to please encourage you to like and subscribe. We drop episodes every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll see you all next week.